we live in dangerous times, certainly dangerous monetary times, and danger is the unspoken truth about P3. And there are more Carillion type events coming to Canada and the USA. So Carillion was a large P3 contractor. They went bust over a year ago now, 1 or 2 years ago now. And they are a good example of how things are likely to turn out in Canada and the USA. The P3 phenomenon came in waves. It originated out of Australia. It was a big thing in the UK, certainly with Tony Blair's Labour government. They rolled it out in a very big way. And it has been going for a while now in Canada, and it seems to be getting some steam up in the US. The reason politicians like it is because they can promise stuff and kick the payments and all the obligations down the road. So you can be the Prime Minister that promises hospitals and roads and tolls, bridges, and you don't have to worry about financing it or paying for it. But it's all a bit of a myth. And the UK are really sort of ahead of where that is going. So to quote the UK's Channel 4's economics correspondent, Liam Halligan, he said, and I quote, "The PFI, the P3 initiative, has been a disaster for taxpayers. Under the P3 scheme, companies build infrastructure projects and finance them while the government makes annual payments, like a massive hire purchase scheme, or if you're in the US, a layaway scheme. P3 was partly about improving efficiency, but it also allowed governments to keep capital spending off the government balance sheet and open schools and hospitals without raising taxes or borrowing. A neat trick. However, because the government was effectively buying them with hugely expensive mortgages and the building services provided were frequently shoddy, and that's from the UK, I'm not saying they're shoddy here, but I'm not saying they're great either, P3 represented terrible value for money. The remaining big P3 firms now claim that Carillion went bust because the government didn't pay enough. In Liam's opinion, this is, quote, arrant nonsense. The truth is it lavished millions of pounds in dividends and bonuses. So Carillion lavished millions of pounds in dividends and bonuses to directors and shareholders while leaving a £500 million pension deficit and a long list of unpaid suppliers. So nothing new there in construction. P3 has been expensive, inefficient, and frankly immoral, says Liam. It gives capitalism a bad name. And having studied economics and been invested in my own pension for the last 20 years, I actually find myself agreeing with that in just about every way. And in the UK, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, the Right Honourable Philip Hammond, in his 2019 budget to Parliament, said that going forward, quote, PFI will not be used. He said, I will never sign a PFI contract. The government will abolish the use of PFI and PFI2. So there you go. The UK is ahead of the wave, I think, with Canada and the US. So if the cycle repeats here in about 3 to 5 years' time in Canada, you'll start seeing the tide turn against P3. And in the US, it's probably got to go a couple of election cycles for that. End of the day, the bottom line is this: if you want assets, if you want hospitals and schools, you have to pay for them. It's really a financing shell game. So P3, don't play, don't support it. If you want a hospital, float a bond and build it.